Hey guys, Post Edit Ricky here. I just want to point out because I know some of the information in this episode is going to be slightly outdated. We actually recorded this about 3 weeks ago. I've unfortunately been sick and didn't get to edit till last night. So I wanted to get it up before Full Gear. So yeah, some of the information is a little outdated, but it's still a fun episode. So yeah, enjoy. What's up, everybody? Ricky here. Seth is on the other side of the table here, and we are going to be talking about something that is near and dear to me. Yes, it's happened before, but growing up, Sting was one of my favorite wrestlers, and as we all know, he recently announced his retirement. So, seeing as we talk a lot of wrestling here, I kind of want to just talk about it and maybe do a little fantasy booking with it. And I promise you, this does not end with Ric Flair versus Sting. If anyone comments say it, you are immediately banned.
It absolutely should, though.
Seth's banned from his own channel. I don't know how that happens, but...
Oh, hey, not to cut you off, because I do want to get to Sting. But I just happened to see something. WWE is trying to turn Miz face.
Not even touching that. Anyway.
Just throwing that out there. Because there's a segue into this because I do think Sting's journey, he should get in the ring with the AEW variant, if you will. I wouldn't mind seeing Sting versus MJF. If it's no story necessary, just put him in the ring together.
Oh, I completely agree with that. Actually, he was going to be part of my fantasy booking.
Cool. Yeah, so go ahead and take it, and I will give my less than intelligent critiques as we go along.
Okay, so we know that he's ending in Revolution 2024, which will either be the end of February or the start of March, going off the past couple of years. Here's where things are getting interesting over in AEW. They just announced World's End for December. And rumor has it next year they're taking their pay-per-views and doing a 12 pay-per-view, much along the lines of, a WWE. Which, if that's the case, if Revolution doesn't hit till March, we potentially have Full Gear, World's End, January and February. So 4 more pay-per-views where Sting can wrestle before he retires, ultimately at Revolution. Yep. We already know. Go ahead.
I just a curiosity. Are there any dream opponents that you have in mind for Sting that you just can't work into your booking scenario?
If this was a younger Sting, yes. Let's rewind the clock a little bit, and actually, I want to do this before it's all said and done. We do have a series that we do here where we put Sting in, would put a Sting or a Goldberg or, a Nash, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, Ric Flair, whatever you have you, in a different era and see how they would do. I would love to take 90s Sting and put him in current AEW.
That's going to be an interesting episode.
Because there are some matches in there, and some matches I know no one here would even think of. So
Ricky Stark Sting.
That one immediately comes to mind. Lance Archer Sting.
Yeah. I actually wouldn't mind Max Caster Sting.
MJF Sting. Actually, no. I was actually sitting here going, that wouldn't have been a bad match.
No. Anyway, didn't mean to sidetrack you. So we're going.
So that's a future episode. This will be. We'll start off at Full Gear. We know where this is going. Christian and blah 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 versus Sting, Darby, and blah blah blah. Let me start off with no, it's not Ric Flair. Ric Flair's not going to be in the match, but I have a theory that because of Ric Flair's involvement, it will be Andrade.
Which makes sense.
So, I know a lot of people
Andrade and Edge are the two people that make the most sense to me.
So, I have a hot take on the Edge situation that leads to World's End. So, let's get to Full Gear. Full Gear arrives. The big six-man's happening. Andrade, Sting, Darby versus Luchasaurus, Christian Cage, and
Nick Wayne.
Nick Wayne, thank you. I can't remember that little shit's name. Anyway.
How do I know AEW better than you?
I still forget Nick Wayne. He's kind of new. Anyway. He's another short, flippy guy. This match happens. I think Christian Cage's team walks out with the win.
Okay.
Via a Edge heel turn.
Okay. So you're saying that Adam Copeland and Christian reunite and go on a heel run?
Yes, because the whole face thing is what Adam Copeland was doing when he first got in. But honestly, since he got there, he's been doing more backstage stuff. And it all seems to be leading towards, like, him and Sting had a little confrontation where Sting's like, you need to get with it. I think what's going to be is Adam Copeland's character wants to be with Christian so much that he's going to turn into Bastard Adam Copeland. And that leads us to World's End, where Adam Copeland and Christian reunite to face Sting and Darby Allin.
Okay.
Because think about this. So far, Sting and Darby Allin are undefeated as a tag team. Nothing would push... They are. They are actually undefeated as a tag team.
Okay.
Nothing would push Adam Copeland and Christian Cage as the most dangerous tag team in AEW than to end that undefeated streak and launch them into, contention later down the road.
So, I know this is more of the fantasy book for Sting. So, do you, in your scenario, do you see them winning the AEW tag team titles?
I do not. I see World's End being the end of the tag team go through between Sting and Darby Allin when they finally lose. Darby Allin's been wrestling hurt, so I can see him maybe going away for a month or so.
Yeah.
So that will give Sting time to face some other opponents. So I don't know if Sting can still go in a one-on-one match, but in my opinion, with their love of putting New Japan, wrestlers and stuff in, if World's End is the end of the tag team, whatever they do in January or February, before Darby Allin and Sting faces each other at Revolution, because in my opinion, that's how this ends. I don't see it ending any other way. We need Tanahashi versus Sting.
That just seems like I get the good idea of it. My concern is that Tanahashi wrestles a very aggressive style that I don't know that Sting can work.
They're both kind of broken down, let's face it.
Yeah, because Tanahashi does neck stuff.
Yeah, I'm not saying they need to go out here and put on a 5-star classic. I'm saying that they could sell a pay-per-view on a poster alone.
No, you're not wrong. But I'm not trying to deflate.
No. Go ahead.
My only thought with that though is that Tanahashi, a match with Tanahashi is physical. It doesn't matter that he's broken or starting to break down. that he's starting to slow down. He's still going to wrestle a Tanahashi match. And it's a Tanahashi match that I'm concerned that Sting can't actually survive. Because I just don't see Tanahashi changing his style.
Yeah. So if it's not Tanahashi, then this is where I have to say, before it's all said and done, Ric Flair goes heel on Sting like everyone wants.
If he doesn't go heel on Sting, I'm going to be super mad.
Now check this out. If there's a chance Darby Allin doesn't make it to this final legendary match, let's face it, he's been wrestling hurt and he's trying to get ready for Everest. Imagine this scenario.
Ric Flair versus Sting.
No. The next best thing, though. Ric Flair in the corner of MJF. As MJF and Sting go at it. Because if MJF is the one that retires Sting, and say Sting goes out on a loss, which I know in my scenario Sting has lost a lot, but
traditionally speaking, when you're leaving, you go out on your back.
But this,
my only qualm with that is MJF is doing really good as a face. I don't see a Ric Flair alliance with MJF ending good for a face MJF.
I'm not saying that it has to be a face MJF. We've got, let's see, November, December, January, potentially February. 4 months in wrestling, that's a lot of time. 5 months if they push it up. 5 months if they push it to the end of March for...
You're not wrong.
And the Catalyst...
MJF, he has so many... As you should, as the world champion, he has so many sharks around him right now.
Here is the catalyst that I see turning him heel.
Okay.
And this one's going to hurt a lot of people. It hurts me a little bit. MJF loses the world title at World's End.
Is he even booked to defend it yet?
He's booked to defend at Full Gear. We're going to assume he's going to be defending at World's End. And we're going to assume, because it's the way it seems to be built, that it's going to be a rematch against Samoa Joe that he barely survived last time.
No. I actually think that Jay White's going to be the one to take... If anybody takes that title from him that's not named Adam Cole, it's going to be Jay White.
I don't see Jay White winning this. They've positioned Joe as the man that MJF doesn't want to come across again. Joe's even offered his hand and help. All MJF has to do is give him a rematch. And even though MJF has all these sharks around him, even though MJF needs the help right now, he has not, and so far will not, give him that rematch.
Oh, no, because realistically, he has a team. He's got the Acclaimed.
Yeah, but he hates the Acclaimed for some reason.
Because it's funny.
Well, yeah, because it's funny, but like, I'm a bit confused where this is going, to be honest. Each week that I see it, I'm like, and then nothing happens. I'm like, okay, and
yeah. I almost wonder if Tony Khan knows where he's going with this.
But I don't want to see them stall out for Adam Cole's return and essentially ruin what could be, a hot moment for AEW. Now, do I think MJF is struggling as a champ? No, not at all. Do I think MJF needs to have the title for longer than a year? No, not at all. Because then I get into the worry of the Orange Cassidy situation. Don't worry, guys. We're getting back to Sting.
Yeah.
They get the international title off Orange Cassidy. The guy they gave it to gets injured. The guy that beat him for it gets injured. And guess who has it? Orange Cassidy. Because no one else looks good with the title now.
It's the very thing that happened with Moxley. He ended up with that title twice because of garbage outside of their control.
Yeah, so it's one of those things like, if you have a guy, if you're going to give it to a guy, I agree, Jay White's a good one. But Joe has been their most consistent for a year now. And he's very believable in the killer aspect right now.
He's very believable because I think he will actually kill somebody.
Yeah. Do I think Wardlow should be back and immediately reaching for that world title? No. I don't
think Wardlow's going to be reaching for the title. I think Wardlow just wants to hurt MJF.
Maybe. Either way, that's where we're at with that one. I just think that if it's not Darby Allin, that the retirement match, in my opinion, should be a Ric Flair backed MJF.
Or just Ric Flair.
No!
Yes, it'll be great.
Okay,
all the WCW turds can come out and be like, "Oh, I remember watching this 84 years ago."
As a WCW fan, no, I don't care.
As a WWF fan, yes,
I don't care how excited Tony Schiavone would be for that match.
I think it'd be a match.
I think it would be the biggest regret since Goldberg versus Undertaker.
Hey, I mean, Ric Flair said that he wants to wrestle again. Why would you deprive that man of what he wants?
Because I'm not watching this old man take a scorpion death drop to his death.
Okay, so first off, he wants to die in the ring.
Second,
why are you depriving this man of his wishes?
Because last time I watched someone that died in the ring, I was sad for years.
Okay, but this is Ric Flair.
Yeah, and in my opinion, Ric Flair used to be the greatest of all time.
Used to be. Now he can try and chase that fame one more time, baby.
I would have much rather have seen... Okay, if Flair's getting back in the ring, let's have Adam Cole put him out Shawn Michaels style.
Yes! Even better! Because he can redo the whole, "I'm sorry, I love you," and then super kick him, but not hold back.
No, he'll say, "I'm sorry they booked you." So, we all know that Seth... We all know Seth wants Flair versus Sting at the end of all this. But in my opinion, in the next several months, I think Sting is going to be... He's going to be losing a lot, but he's going to be the catalyst of what sets up AEW for years to come.
You're assuming that Darby Allin survives Everest.
That's why I'm putting MJF in there. I don't know what you want from me. Jungle Boy returns. I don't care.
Who?
The real glass guy.
Who?
Jack Perry.
Thank you.
Jungle Boy.
Wow, he's gone the way of El Generico.
He's also gone the way of...
Are you really going to say that name?
CM Punk.
He said the name.
Imagine being MJF and having to talk about the greatest dog collar match, but you can only share the chain and him. They did that the other day. He was like, "It was in the greatest dog collar match ever," and all you saw was Punk's bloody hand, a chain, and MJF.
Wrestling's so fucking stupid. I love it. That's fantastic.
I think the next couple months, I truly believe that we'll only see maybe one, maybe two Sting singles matches, and it's going to have to be with younger guys that can hold Sting.
You're not wrong. I mean, any match that Sting is in at this point, because Sting can definitely, I think he can really go for his age, but they want to accentuate and make him shine. So they're going to put him in there with people that are going to help him shine.
You know what? And if you want to continue the Christian, here, I'll take you down an alternate reality of what I've said. The Christian and Edge thing happens. We continue on with that. The story doesn't end. It ends at Revolution. And just for fun, just because he was a WCW guy, we end it in Blood and Guts as Sting, Darby Allin, and FTR. I don't know why that's the team, but it is. Versus the... What the hell do we even call him here?
Christian...
The...
Christian and his boys. And Adam.
Adam and Fathers? I don't know.
Adam and Fathers. Is that like Sanford and Sons?
I was going to say like... Yes, I know that show. I was going to say like Edge Daddies, but that sounds wrong.
I don't know. That might be a website already.
So... They finish off in Blood and Guts. There, we'll that's the alternate reality, and that's only if Sting wants to go into a War Games match one last time.
I made a mistake.
I hope you didn't look that up.
It's a hashtag on Instagram.
Moving on.
I didn't open it. But it is a hashtag on Instagram.
You're right. That was a terrible life decision. So,
Teddy Christian, help me. I broke him again.
Just fantasy book your thing. I need to cry for a second.
So how about that Christian doing great work in AEW, best work of his career, some would say. Yeah,
AEW's Christian dads.
Christian daddies.
Oh God, don't say that word. Anyway, so how do you see Sting's retirement going? I'm done. This is the end of the channel, folks.
Yeah, it was a good run. I'll be honest. So I think as someone who doesn't frequent AEW as much, to me, it's a matter of, do you do a story-driven retirement similar to what you have done, or do you go the route of like Great Muta, and you're just like, let's just do a shit ton of dream matches?
I say both.
I wouldn't mind both. You know,
both is good.
I would like to book an AEW World Champion MJF versus Sting. I would like to see Darby Allin versus Sting. But let's get freaky with it, yo. I would like to see Chris Jericho versus Sting. I would love, and this isn't even like the patter of bullshittery, I would love to see Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus Sting.
What?
Yeah.
How about
That's a
Ricky
good one,
Starks?
right? Ricky Starks. You know, one Ricky or the other.
This Ricky, I'll fight Sting.
Yeah. Yeah, bring on the Shacklenator.
Oh, Jesus Christ. No. No.
Yeah,
No.
it'll be
No.
great.
No.
You'll be fine.
No.
You'll be fine.
No.
We'll put
No. Proceed, but no.
No, we will put somebody really good in your corner. You
I
know
get
what?
Ric
Shout
Flair.
out to friend. No, shout out to friend of the channel, Kellen Craven. He can be in your corner.
You know what? I'd take that.
So would he.
Kellen Craven in my corner is I get my ass kicked by Sting. I'd take it.
Yeah, and let's be honest, Kellen would still probably sell better than you.
Yeah, he's trained.
Yeah, well,
I'm just a fat guy that
really, really well.
I'm just a fat guy that used to do shooting star presses off like building tops, like Mick Foley.
Yeah, but I mean, Kellen Craven. We mentioned this in that Mercy interview that we have to redo because technology sucks. Kellen Craven screams really, really well. But point being, I would love for Sting's last couple months to just be like this grand tour of him getting to face what iconic opponents that he still can.
Okay, well, I got one
it.
for you then.
Okay.
We never got the match that, everyone wanted of Taker versus Sting that we got back in the 90s, technically early 80s. Whatever.
Correct.
So why don't we take AEW's spooky guy against Sting, and we get Aleister Black versus Sting?
That sounds like a terrible idea, but I'm down for it.
Look, I didn't say Okada. We don't want to break his orbital bone.
Oh my god. Fuck it. Danielson just needs to give up. AEW is going to kill him.
In a year. Anyway.
You know what? Let's do Okada versus Sting. Why not? I just want a show of how good Sting was, is, and could continue to be should he really wanted to. I don't want, as a WWE guy, I do appreciate and get the story. And sometimes the story works. For Sting, kind of similar to The Undertaker, I don't think it's about the story. I think it's about that journey. We know the last match is coming, so just knock out as many cool, badass moments as you can so that Sting can, put the face paint up and go, that it could not be any better. I did not leave anything on the table. Not that I think he will think that if he does a story-driven retirement, but with Tony Khan being the type of guy he is, that he's a very eccentric booker.
What Sting should we get?
Oh, for the final match?
I mean, do we see Surfer Sting over the next couple months? Do we get Joker Sting? Do we get, Crow Sting?
I think we should. I think the last match should be Crow Sting. I hesitate to say that we should do Surfer Sting, although that would be hilarious. Joker Sting, I'm not against, but I think Impact might still hold ownership of that version.
No, he's been Joker Sting on AEW television.
Oh well, if he's already done it, then no, don't bother bringing it back.
It was for like one backstage interview thing.
Oh, mediocrity at its finest. Surprise.
Okay, Captain Insano versus Sting. What do you want from me?
There's your Surfer Sting.
Because Paul White does own the rights to Captain Insano now and has appeared as him multiple times.
So, Captain Insano versus Surfer Sting. Make it happen, Tony.
And a happy golf course match.
Oh, and Adam Sandler can be the special referee.
Oh dear God, what have I done?
You have inadvertently booked the best match AEW can put on.
I hate it here.
Good job, Ricky. You should be proud.
I'm retired.
And on that note, guys, we'll see you later. Bye.
I hate it here.